Hello and welcome to the Friday, June 12th edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News. Grant Olson is away tonight. I'm Jefferson Robbins. It's the wrap-up to a very busy week here at the Wenatchee Valley's hub for local news. But here are some of the stories we have coming up for you on tonight's newscast. Authorities are seeking your help in identifying a body recovered earlier this week from the Okanogan River. We'll tell you how you can lend some assistance. And the man who heads up road and bridge projects in Douglas County is officially the best at his job in all of Washington State. We'll tell you about that. Well, the transition from spring into summer is fully upon us with warming temperatures and no sign of precipitation or even much humidity over the next several days. In Grant's absence, Dan Kuntz will be here with the weekend weather report. First, our top story tonight. Chelan County prosecutors have charged the 13-year-old suspect in the May 30th homicide of a 42-year-old woman. The charge filed on Tuesday is premeditated first-degree murder. The boy is being tried as a juvenile in Chelan County Court, although his case could be escalated to adult felony court. The victim, identified by Wenatchee police as Cassandra Marie Andrews Huff, was found stabbed to death at the rear of a business in the 600 block of South Mission Street. Police arrested the youth on Friday at the Wenatchee Public Library. He appeared for his preliminary hearing on Monday and is currently being held on $1 million bail at the Chelan County Juvenile Center. His arraignment hearing is scheduled for June 18th. The Okanogan County Sheriff's Office is seeking help in identifying a body pulled from the Okanogan River earlier this week. Sheriff Jody Barkas says the deceased person was found June 8th near the town of Malott. The body is described as that of a white male approximately 6 feet and 200 pounds with facial hair. Deputies released a photo of a tattoo found on the man's left shoulder, which they hope will help to identify him. Anyone with information is asked to call the Sheriff's Department at 509-422-7232. This is the end of the 2025-26 school year and a graduation week for all kinds of students. On Tuesday, the Wenatchee Valley Community Transitions Program recognized its own graduating participants. The program, managed by the Wenatchee School District, serves students with special needs and disabilities who have completed 4 years of high school, providing skills to prepare them for the workforce. They walk the stage at the Wenatchee High School auditorium.
Today we are celebrating our graduates from the Wenatchee Valley Transition Program. We have about 6 graduates. We do this every year to celebrate them and then also celebrate the rest of our students and their achievements throughout the year, their jobs, their community, and just their growth. Being part of the transition program has actually been the biggest joy in my life. These students and staff, just amazing humans, and it's just the best place to work.
The transitions program has helped me become like a better adult, learning how to do things on my own, being a good self-advocate to myself, and it's just taught me how to have good skills. I just want to say that I hope they do good in their next chapter, and that they have good skills on what they want to learn and do as they go forward in their lives.
Well, I'm 18 now this year, and I just don't feel like leaving, so I'm happy.
Motorists may soon be able to charge up their electric vehicles at 6 new public chargers planned for the Wenatchee Valley Mall. The $900,000 cost would be covered by a Climate Commitment Act grant from the Washington Department of Commerce. The nonprofit agency guiding the installation, the Clean and Prosperous Institute of Seattle, says the ports will be fast charging with infrastructure by Tesla and power supplied by the Douglas County PUD. The grant comes with a deadline of 18 months to finish the installation. It's one of more than 100 projects funded in the latest round of climate grants, adding up to more than $37 million statewide. The Colville Confederated Tribes will also use Climate Commitment Act money to install 6 public chargers in Moses Lake, while the Grant County PUD builds 16 new chargers to help electrify its own vehicle fleet throughout Grant County. Well, when we come back, a giant of the Wenatchee Valley tree fruit business is closing its doors. Well Nursery will cease operations at the end of this growing season. We'll tell you why. I'm Jefferson Robbins, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Slide and surf all summer long. Soundwave Saturdays, more than a surf park, it's the summer scene. Grab a drink and enjoy live music every Saturday in July and August. Slide Waters in Lake Chelan. Don't miss it.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Celebrate America at the Real Homes Rock Fest on the last Saturday in June. Great bands including Too Slim and the Tail Draggers and the best Bon Jovi tribute band, Non Jovi. It all happens at the Rock Island Golf Course. Free shuttle service with food and craft vendors and a wine and beer garden. Be prepared for family fun entertainment and live music to the fireworks show. The Real Homes Rock Fest at the Rock Island Golf Course Saturday, June 27th, 2026.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. It's the end of an era for one of the major suppliers of fruit trees in the Wenatchee Valley. Well Nursery, a family-owned business that's operated since the 1940s, will close its doors later this year. Rising labor costs and struggles in the orchard industry as a whole have cut into the nursery's bottom line. The business employs about 25 people. Among other considerations, senior manager Pete Well says he and his fellow directors are all approaching retirement age with no one in the family business to take over. Washington's statewide award for 2026 County Engineer of the Year went to Douglas County engineer Aaron Simmons. He's been working at the county for more than 2 decades. The County Road Administration Board named Simmons on Monday at this year's Washington State Association of County Engineers Conference in Longview. The county says Simmons has been instrumental in the McNeil Canyon Road alignment project and the replacement of the Upper Pearl Hill Bridge, and he's helped to secure funding for the Wenatchee Landing project. The award is given each year to engineers demonstrating leadership, expertise, and dedication to advancing county transportation systems. Over in Chelan County, the government has made what it calls significant progress in repairing its network and systems after a malware attack 3 weeks ago. The county's IT department shut down its entire network around 10 a.m. on May 24th after detecting malware in its computers and telephone systems. The county has been working with a third-party cybersecurity firm to safely recover its network. The nature and scope of the original attack has not been identified and the investigation is ongoing, but it did not impact as many systems as originally thought, according to a Chelan County news release. This week, IT was able to restore several county systems, including telephones, staff desk computers, email, and some servers. County websites remain down, but offices are open to the public, with updates available on the county's Facebook page. Well, coming up next, Fire Chief John Perry takes the helm of the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department with a little help from his predecessor. He'll talk more about what led him to leave the valley after graduation and why he came back to oversee our fire and rescue agency. In the weather, Dan Kuntz rejoins us to give us the weekend forecast. He says temperatures are about to break into the 90s. I would never tell anyone to pay attention to what Dan says, except in this particular instance. Then we've got Nathan Eshelman with a sports report. That's all coming up as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Chelan PUD works hard year-round to reduce fire risk and provide dependable service for our customers. But when extreme fire weather is forecasted, we may resort to a public safety power shutoff, turning off power to a specific area in order to prevent fire. In this rare event, we'll keep you informed before, during, and after the shutoff. To stay prepared and check if you're in a PSPS zone, visit chelanpud.org/PSPS.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
At Colonial Vista Senior Living, we believe life is meant to be lived fully. Our wellness programs inspire residents to stay strong, flexible, and confident every day. Here, curiosity is encouraged, friendships are nurtured, and every activity is an opportunity to connect, create, and enjoy life together. We invite you to experience the lifestyle at Colonial Vista Senior Living for yourself and discover why so many call our community home.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. The Wenatchee Valley Fire Department has a new chief currently sharing duties with his predecessor. Fire Chief John Perry is an Eastmont High School graduate who grew up alongside Chief Brian Brett, the man he'll succeed when Brett retires at the end of this year. The two men are working alongside each other during the transition period. Chief Perry dropped in for a studio interview this week to talk with me about his background as a first responder and what brought him back to the Valley where he was raised.
Pretty much born and raised in the Wenatchee Valley, graduated from Eastmont High School in 1985. So I definitely bleed Columbia blue and bright red, right? But I left the Valley officially in 1987 to go to college in the Midwest, and it really was sports related is how I ended up there. Ultimately worked for 20 years in the fire department and EMS in the Kansas City metropolitan area. So that was kind of my background when it came to leaving the Valley.
You said it was sports related. Were you out there on athletic scholarship of some kind?
Yeah, so I played college baseball. I was fortunate to play for Eastmont High School and Dan White and Jim Hanna back in those days, and just happened to be fairly decent at the sport, and that took me to Kansas with the full intentions that when I graduated I would move directly back to the Valley, but life has different plans for you.
You went from Kansas, you were in firefighting service there. What were your stops along the way before you became here?
So yeah, after 23 years really in the Midwest working as a paramedic and a firefighter, ultimately after our kids started graduating from high school and going off to college and taking on their own lives, it allowed my wife and I to start looking toward the Northwest. And the goal had always been to get back toward our families who are still currently residing in the Valley. So the first stop really was Idaho Falls in southeastern Idaho. It just brought us a little bit closer to Wenatchee. It just happened to be Idaho Falls. And really the purpose and how that happened, again, was just the geographical location to the Wenatchee Valley.
Now, you left the Idaho Falls Fire Department. It was a retirement, as I understand it, officially. So at that point, when you decided to retire from Idaho Falls, were you looking for another job in the firefighting field, or was this just something that sort of came up by happenstance?
Yeah, it's a great question. I retired from Kansas, so I have a retirement from there. And then after 33 years about in the service, and I retired from Idaho Falls, I really thought that was probably the end of my career, and I was pretty satisfied with it. but I also just wasn't ready to stop working. I actually worked part-time for a hospital in Idaho Falls as their risk and emergency management. Then, yeah, just be happenstance that, I've always kept track of the Wenatchee Valley through the Wenatchee World. And really how I saw this particular job was just the front page article that the department was looking for a fire chief. So I wasn't even actively looking for it other than just keeping track of the valley. And, like I tell people, there's only one fire department in this whole country I would have put in for at that point in time, and that was here. And so ultimately, I just put in for it to see where it would take me, and I've been pretty fortunate to get the job.
What do you think is going to differ for you as fire chief of Wenatchee Valley Fire compared to past assignments, like say Idaho Falls or say the jobs you might have had in Kansas? What makes this area distinctive and unique in terms of what you have to think about to prepare for firefighting?
Yeah, the big one really is, and starting on June 1st is really my start date, and we're getting at the height of wildland firefighting season. My original first 23 years was in a metropolitan setting, so I worked in a city, and so wildland firefighting really was non-existent there, to be honest with you. Now fortunately, I've had almost 8 years of experience in southeastern Idaho, where the geographical area, the topography is a lot the same as it is here, but certainly when we talk in that on that topic or that discussion of what's different, ultimately there's just going to be a learning curve for me when it comes to wildland firefighting. I'm fortunate that Chief Brett is staying around. I'm going to be in his hip pocket all summer, so I'm not going to be on my own. And we have great people in the fire department. We have wildland liaisons. I was just last night up in the Malaga area talking to a community about Firewise and being fire ready for wildland season, because we're really going to rely on the community to preparing for that. So the biggest change certainly is going to be that. I've definitely, I guess, so to speak, for lack of a better way of saying it, I've been thrown into the fire right off the bat starting on June 1st, but I'm certainly looking forward to the challenge.
Well, this is the first time you've led a department on a full-scale basis, but you've had leadership roles before as deputy chief. Have you developed, John, what you might think of as a leadership philosophy? I mean, do you have a set of rules or a set of guidelines that you apply when you are taking on a management job of this size?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm just a big proponent to continually trying to lead or learn leadership philosophy. So I hope this is a pretty easy topic for me to talk about. But first and foremost, I'm just a big believer that you just have to prepare yourself, for the day. So just morning routines and just walking into the office every day with a smile on your face, with the best, being the best version of yourself. Because, to lead others, you just have to, in my opinion, you have to lead yourself first so you're ready for the job. I'm a big believer that, it's not just me who's making the decisions. I want to develop the team so that I can bounce off the ideas off of other people in the office and in the stations. My goal in the next week is to get out and just start talking to the guys and gals in the station, just trying to figure out what their perspectives are of areas that we can improve on and areas that we're good at. And then that allows me to start that leadership philosophy and what we're going to do. I really want the men and women of the department to be the drivers of where we go. Ultimately, it's probably my decision, I guess, but that's just kind of how I view it. I'm a big believer in technical problems. You can hire subject matter experts to solve problems for you, but a lot of what we do are what I would call adaptive challenges, and we just need to come together as a group, have discussions, and come away with the best solution.
Happy Friday, everybody. The second to last Friday of spring 2026. We're getting closer and closer to the first day of summer, which is on Sunday, June 21st. That is the summer solstice. Dan Coons filling in for Grant Olson. Beautiful shot from our Hay Canyon camera, named after Hay Canyon, named after one of the pioneering families that first settled in the Kashmir area, the Canyon family, just in case you were curious. Another warm one today, second day in a row now. We went past our normal high after that cool start to June. 82 up at Pangbourne for a high today. And look how mild the overnight low was, 59. That's why we were able to get up a little bit warmer than normal. And we're going to see overnight lows in the mid-60s by the time our forecast is done. I want to point out sunrise and sunset today, 5:04 sunrise, 8:58 for sunset. Tomorrow, sunrise 8:03, sunset 8:59, the longest days of the year. The sun won't come up any earlier than 5:03, but we'll see some sunsets past the 9 o'clock hour starting next week, as a matter of fact. You like the number 85? Here you go, folks. 85s everywhere. 85 in Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy, Wenatchee. It's going to be a little breezier, by the way, out of the Columbia Basin. Heads up on that for you folks heading out maybe to the Moses Lake Air Show this weekend. Be prepared for a little bit of wind. We're going to have a little wind, but not nearly as much of what they're going to have out in the Columbia Basin. Nice and pleasant up at Lake Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Hope the mosquitoes aren't out. And Chelan is going to be hopping with gobs of gooey good sunshine and a high of 86 degrees. High pressure is still large and in charge. There it is. It's outside of your viewing area. That's how big it is. And that high pressure ridge is going to start moving a little bit farther south and a little bit closer to our state. So we're going to see a lot more radiant heat. 81, 82, right around there today. Overnight low tonight is going to be pretty mild. And then Saturday, right in the wheelhouse. How about sunshine? Very little wind. High of 84. Maybe a couple of late afternoon kick-up breezes is all we're expected on Saturday. Very warm Saturday night with an overnight low of 60. Notice no pressure gradients there. The high pressure ridge is right out of your viewing area. But again, it's going to settle down and move a little bit, and it's going to really start cooking us up on Sunday. Our first 90-degree day of the summertime, and it's not even summertime yet. That's expected on Sunday, and then we're going to bump up to even more because 65 is going to be our overnight low overnight Sunday into Monday. We go back to work Monday for the last week of spring. 95, and that is the ridge of high pressure that's going to be centered right over the top of us. A lot of radiant heat. Sometimes it shoves some of the warmer air from the south up to us. This is a direct radiant heat. Long days, that's going to happen. Tuesday, a little bit cooler and a little bit breezier because that ridge of high pressure is going to move back out. We'll be on the edge of it, which means the pressure gradients are going to tighten up a little bit. That's what happens when you're right in the middle of the high pressure. You have very little wind, but when it moves aside, it allows the gradients to tighten up, and we're going to be down to just 84 on Wednesday, still above normal, as you can see right there, a little breezy on Wednesday. And now they're starting to get a little bit concerned about fire weather. Now, in order to have a fire weather watch or warning, you need to have low humidity, strong winds, and hot temperatures. We're going to have two of those things, but I don't think the temperature is going to get hot enough to have a fire weather advisory. But we're certainly going to have bone dry air. Relative humidity is going to be lower than a gopher's basement. And we're going to have some wind, as you can see by those pressure gradients, going to tighten right up. Is it me, or can we not escape the wind? And that's so we're looking at maybe some fire concerns by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. We will know more by this time next week. From our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, it's where comfort, care, and community come together. Not a bad weekend, even though it's still officially spring. It's going to feel like summer tomorrow with a high of 84, mild overnight lows, a little breeze on Saturday, little breeze Saturday night, just enough to cool us down. No real wind concerns at all until we get to Tuesday and that 95-degree mark on Monday. Not a record high, but plenty warm for most folks. So summertime is, I think, officially here, whether it's not here or not. All right, that's your weather forecast. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Nathan Eshelman here in Wenatchee. This week in sports, it's been very exciting with some Apple Sox and World Cup action, and the weekend looks to keep it going. Starting with baseball, the Apple Sox had a great week to welcome fans early in the season. Back-to-back series wins and some stellar hitting performances sent the Apple Sox fans home happy this week. On top of that, also multiple different theme nights, and last night's game being Hispanic Heritage Night showed a lot of strength. Some strong hitting performances were included in their performance with the 5-1 victory over the Springfield Drifters. Kainoa Santiago said adios pelota as he hit a 2-run home run in the game. The Apple Sox record now sits at 8-3, being first place in the North Division. The next game for Wenatchee is up against the Nanaimo Owls as they travel up north. Moving over to soccer, it is the biggest party in the world. The World Cup has started on Thursday with Mexico opening the tournament in their host country. In the capital of Mexico City, they played against South Africa, and the energy in the stadium was unmatched. Mariachi, a lot of music, and a whole lot of noise as Mexico scored 2 goals with a lot of emotion, and they secured their first win in the group stages. Julian Quinones and Raul Jimenez were the goal scorers as they secured the 2-0 victory over South Africa. Both sent a loud message to start this year's tournament, showing that Mexico does have a chance to make it all the way. Following Mexico versus South Africa, it was the Republic of Korea taking on Czechia. In what was a strong defensive performance in the first half with neither team scoring by halftime, they broke through near the end of the game with Czechia scoring first, but Korea answering back with getting 2 goals late to win it. Looking at the Cup schedule moving forward, both of the other host countries play in games today. The first one being midday as it's Canada taking on Bosnia in Toronto. Canada is expected to win their match as they are led by a great defensive player in Alphonso Davies. Along with Canada, the USA get a chance to prove the doubters wrong this World Cup as they prepare to take on Paraguay in Los Angeles at 6 p.m. The U.S. national team struggled to get momentum going into the tournament, losing multiple friendly matches against opponents who were considered weaker. This year, they will have their host cities in America behind their back. The U.S. is being led by forward Christian Pulisic as they look to shock the world. The World Cup is the party of the summer, and it will last until July 19th. The World Cup is the biggest party of the summer, and you can check back in to NCWLIFE as we continue the extensive coverage of the tournament. Reporting from Wenatchee, I'm Nathan Eshelman for NCWLIFE.
And that will do it for the NCWLIFE Evening News this Friday night. Remember, if you see news happening, let us know. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call, 888-6295. This channel is also available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Dan Kuntz will be back again on Monday with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, starting at 7 a.m., and I'll be filling in for Grant Olson once more right here on the Evening News. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Hope you all have a great weekend.
Tune in Monday through Friday at 5, 6, and 10 for the NCWLIFE Evening News, or go to our website at ncwlife.com, or you can visit us on Facebook. North Central Washington, the NCWLIFE channel has you covered.
Hello, television family. Grab your cup of coffee each weekday morning and join me. I'm Dan Kuntz, the host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's everything you need to start your day. We're live and we're local at 7 a.m. every weekday on the NCWLIFE channel.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.